What is going on? It's Nate back again with another video. We got Truck Talks today, episode I think 12 or 13. So today I'm going to talk about emotion, because this is, I kind of am just cracking this code. And let me tell you, emotion is how you get where you want to go. Emotion is how you are going to travel and take the truly like the quantum leaps in life. If you can't tell, I'm very high energy today because I've been using the emotion of feeling as the person I want to become. And so when you feel that way, you're on that vibration, you're on that frequency, you're having those thoughts, and you're naturally taking those actions that will take you there. And it's a really crazy thing. So this guy, story time, came up to me when I was working and detailing, right? I detail cars. And he was like, he came up to me and was asking me how much I charge. And my natural instinct, right? Because I've been in the state of the person I want to become, right? Which is not a detailer. And my natural instinct was, I told him I'm not taking on any new clients. And so I referred him to someone else. I had never determined that I wasn't taking on new clients, right? I had never came to that conclusion. But because I was in the state of my future self, that was my natural action that I was taking. And that's the best way I can explain that. When you feel and you're living in the wish fulfilled, you naturally are taking these steps that you don't even think about. I didn't think about saying that. I didn't even know I was the one that said that. It just came out, right? You just say it. It just happens. And it sounds crazy, but once you experience it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the only reason that happened is because I was living in the wish fulfilled. I was living as the person I want to become. So you make decisions as that person, not as the person you presently are. And that is the most powerful thing you can ever master. So when you're able to hold the state of your wish fulfilled, when you're able to live like that person at all times, no matter what's going on, no matter what your physical situation is, that is how you're going to travel and move so fast towards your goals. Like, it is crazy. Like, it puts you on fire because you feel like the millionaire version of yourself, or the famous version of yourself, or, you know, the healthy version of yourself. Whatever it is that you're going after, you already feel that person. You already feel those emotions. So guess what? You're going to feel grateful. You're going to feel blessed. You're going to feel relieved. You're going to feel successful. You're going to feel all these emotions naturally because you feel like that person already, because you are that person already. The physical results aren't there, but you already are that person spiritually, which is what comes before the physical. And I like being able to grasp this, which is not an easy thing, right? Because you may be like, well, how do I know what it feels like to be a millionaire if I've never been a millionaire? Well, start thinking, ask yourself, how would I feel if I was a millionaire? Right? You'd probably feel pretty happy. You'd probably feel pretty relieved. You'd probably feel a new level of confidence. You would feel all these emotions that naturally come with, you know, that new status or that new level or that new, you know, level of awareness, whatever you want to refer to it as. And so you have to learn how to live in that state, which, like I said, is not easy at all. But let me tell you some tips. So being outside makes it 100 times easier. And I was just talking to my grandparents, and we were talking, and I think it's because you're out in God's nature. You're out in God's creation, right? You're out in nature. And so when you're outside on a walk, it's easy to feel one with your future path because you feel closer to God. You feel one with God. You don't, you know, you're not inside with technology or something that's sucking up, you know, your creative abilities. But when you're outside, you are more aligned with God. You're more aligned with nature. And so it's going to be easier to direct your emotions into that future state and, you know, feel that emotion fully. And so going on walks, right? Go on walks as much as you can. Be outside as much as you can. I've mastered it to where I can feel this while I'm detailing. So while I'm working all day, I'm pretty much living in that state. And the more I'm able to live in that state, the more these actions occur and the quicker your life will change. And so mastering the skill of living in the wish fulfilled is what will take you where you want to go. You have to understand, and shout out to my grandma, I hope she's watching this. She was saying, she's like, when you try to go step by step on your own, living of this world, you're taking the windy way up the mountain. When you are living in God's path, when you are aligned with God, when you're letting God guide you, when you tell him what you want and you're just following his path and you're living as that person, you're taking the straight path up, right? You're getting like the helicopter's lifting you straight to the top. You're not having to go up the windy path. Because God doesn't want you to struggle. He doesn't want you to live a miserable life. He doesn't want you to live in poverty. He doesn't want you to live all these ways. He just fulfills what you ask for. And so when you ask for it, in the feeling of thinking about it and becoming it and acting upon it, you're going to get it. And there's no time in the spiritual world. So stop putting these limiting beliefs that, oh, it's going to take me multiple years to get there. No, why? Why would it take you multiple years? Is there going to be a period where you are becoming that person that can accept that thing? Yes. Is there going to be a period where, it becomes your reality? Yes. Is it going to happen literally instantly? No. That's not what I'm saying, but you have to remove these limiting beliefs that it takes, hard work, that it takes time, that it takes all this effort. It doesn't. You just have to align with what you want and take these actions that will occur to you naturally. I'm not sitting here thinking, what actions can I take to take me toward my goal? No. But when you're thinking about the end destination and you're living as that person, you are naturally getting ideas and you are naturally taking the steps you need to take to get there. And I don't know how to explain it, because I don't want to say it's easy because it's uncomfortable, but it's not forced. It feels natural. I naturally said, I'm not taking on any new clients. I had never come to that conclusion before. But guess what? Now I'm at that conclusion. I'm not taking on new clients. I don't know why, but I'm not. Because there was a reason that happened, right? Because all day I've been thinking, and I've been asking God, how do I know when it's the right time? How do I know when it's the right time to stop detailing? How do I know? And I think this is his way of telling me, look, it's not going to be just a one day, rip off the Band-Aid, you're done. It's going to be, you stop accepting clients. Now you're only working these days. Now you're starting to give your clients to somebody else and start, dwindling it away. Start, slowly ripping off the Band-Aid. And then eventually, you're going to have to take the final rip, but it's not necessarily going to be like a one day you wake up and you're not a detailer anymore. And so, that's kind of my story. It's like, it's emotion. Because if you just think, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, that does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. You have to have the emotion behind it. You have to feel like a millionaire. You have to think like a millionaire. You have to talk like a millionaire. You have to act like a millionaire. And you will become one, because you already are one. Because you already have everything you need. Creation is finished. You are created in God's image. We are creative beings. We have the power to create our own reality, for the good or for the bad. People who live a miserable life of poverty, a life that they hate, they didn't use it for the good. But they use it just the same as someone who's living the best life is. Right? We all have access to the same power. So stop having these beliefs that your circumstance determines your life. Your circumstance, allows you to have what you have and what you don't have. No. Your circumstance doesn't matter. I'm out there washing a car, but guess what? I'm a millionaire. Right? It's not your circumstance. Because you believing that you're already that person is what is going to create the fact. And let me dive deeper into that. Your mind there's no time in the spiritual world. It doesn't know what tomorrow is. So saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to become this, I'm going. No, you're not. Because all you have is now. So when you're telling your mind, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you're literally just telling yourself that you aren't that. You are literally just saying, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not this, I'm not that, and I'm not even going to use all these words because I don't want my mind to think it's true. So you are going to be just pushing yourself further and further and further from your goal every time you say, I'm going in the future, one day, someday. You're working against yourself. You are pushing everything you want so far away from you. That's why you're never going to get it. I did that for so long. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because I'm giving you guys the answers. You just have to listen and actually do it. Sit down and think about what you want, and then sit down and think, what emotions will I feel when I'm that person? And then be that, do that, feel that. And I know directing your emotion is not easy at first. It takes time. I've been working on it for months. But it's like I'm finally to the point where I feel like I can confidently say I've mastered it, or I'm mastering it. And it's crazy. You truly can master your emotion. You truly can direct your emotions whenever you want. And you'll find little tips and tricks on how to, make it more effective, or make it easier, or, have easier access to it. And, that comes with practice. It's just like anything else. You're not going to be good at it the first time. You're not going to say you want to feel like your millionaire self and then right away just, be good at it and be able to just direct that emotion. It's going to take time. But once you get the hang of it, that is when you're unstoppable. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions align with your future self, there's nothing stopping you. Nothing. Because your only thing stopping you right now is your beliefs, your limiting beliefs. So when you scratch that out of the picture, what's left? Nothing. Nothing is left. I hope you guys can feel through the message the reality of this. It is crazy. You are a creative being. You have the ability to create any life you want to create. And you create it through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's not just your thoughts. You can't just say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. That does nothing. You have to have emotion behind it. You have to feel that. Ask yourself, what would I feel? And then when you answer your own question, because the answer is already there, you already know what you would feel, then you do those things. You feel those feelings. Feel relief, feel successful, feel grateful. You have to be grateful, because let me tell you something. If you're grateful for something you don't even have, that is the most powerful thing you can do, right? If you are like, God, I'm grateful for this because I have absolute faith that this is coming into my life. I'm already grateful. I don't even need you to give it to me. I'm already grateful for it. I know it's coming. Do you know how powerful that is? Like, do you understand the power to that? Because first off, realize most people aren't even grateful for what they physically have to begin with. So when you are not only grateful for what you physically have, but you are grateful for what you are getting, because you already know it's yours, you're talking directly with God. That is when things will literally move like that. Trust me, I've experienced it, and it's happening to me right now. If you can't tell by my energy, it is happening to me right now. So again, I'm going to wrap this up here because I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but you have to know what you want. Ask yourself, what feelings will I feel when I am that person? And then you have to tell yourself, I already am that person, and you have to feel those feelings. And the more you feel those feelings, the quicker it will travel into your reality. And I'm going to end that there. That is probably the most sauce I could ever give anybody. It's not the skills you have. It's not your circumstance. It's not where you went to school. It's not what you know. It's not the job you currently have. It's not how much you normally make. It's not your background, family life. None of it matters, because yesterday's already gone. You can't even see it. You have no proof that it was even there. It's gone. So stop letting yourself stop limiting yourself by your circumstance. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you choose to make it matter. And I'm telling you, choose to not make it matter, and it won't matter, because your belief creates the fact. I mean, there's nothing else I could say. You are the only one stopping you. You are the creator of your life. God has given you the creative abilities to create your own reality, and I'm just trying to help you direct that, because everyone is doing it, whether you realize it or not. And if you're living a life that you don't like, it's because you aren't choosing to consciously plant the thoughts that you want into your mind and create your own reality. People who live a life of misery and poverty are planting negative thoughts, limiting thoughts on themselves, and that is what they're getting, because God only fulfills what you ask for. And if you have negative thoughts, if you have limiting thoughts, He is fulfilling that right on schedule, right on time, delivered right to your doorstep. Poverty, misery, hatred, anger, jealousy, greed, all these feelings, you have them all delivered right to your doorstep. But in the same way you get all those, you can have abundance, health, wealth, prosperity, happiness, joy, love, everything. It's yours. But you have to ask for it. And you ask for it in the form of feelings, thoughts, prayer, emotion. It really is that simple. Stop thinking it takes a bunch of time. Stop thinking you got to do a hard physical labor. You got to put in your time. No. You just have to believe that you are deserving of it, and you have to walk in confidence that you are that person. I am that person, and nobody's going to stop me. Laugh at me. Tell me I'm delusional. Tell me I'm crazy. Good. Watch me, right? That's the attitude you have to have. That's the attitude I had. People genuinely were asking me if I lost my mind. I said, nope, I found it. That's the truth. I found it. I found out who I truly was. And when you find out who you truly are, you operate on a different level that most people are not familiar with, because nobody really does that. Nobody knows that. Nobody finds that. And I just told you exactly how to find that. So this is by far the best video I've ever made, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys watch this over and over and over and over and over, because this will genuinely change your life if you actually apply it. That is what separates the failures from the successes. The successful people actually apply it. They actually take the action. And the action is not going to be rigorous and difficult, but you have to do it. It's going to be uncomfortable. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to Huntington, and I have a feeling this weekend's going to be crazy, right? Huntington's where I'm moving. I'm going to be there all weekend, staying at my favorite resort, living the best life, because I'm making my dreams my reality. I'm literally living in my dreams. I'm living in the reality I created in my mind, and you guys can do the same. I'm trying to help you guys do that. So I'm probably going to do a weekend vlog, like a weekend in the life, or maybe a day in the life, something like that while I'm in Huntington. Yeah, I mean, life's crazy. I hope you guys feel inspired by this. I hope you guys can feel my emotion of, I truly believe in each and every one of you. You guys can all literally achieve anything you want. Anything you want. There's no limits to what you can achieve. And my goal with this journey is not to achieve a certain amount of money. I'm not trying to just grab numbers. I don't care. I'm here to show you guys that you can literally live any life you want to live by completely changing my life. And I'm doing it as fast as I possibly can so I can show you guys it doesn't take that long. You just have to want it. So I'll tell you what, I want it more than most people. I take the steps. I do the actions. I don't make excuses. I do it. And that's the difference. That's all it is. It's just doing. Stop thinking and start doing. I don't care what people say. Stop thinking and start doing. If you know where you're headed. Now, don't be doing stupid stuff, but if you know where you're headed, stop overthinking it. The answers to your question are already there. You already know what to do. Just do it. All right. See you guys tomorrow.